Hello. The wheel spun on this on StreamYard for such a long time when it hit go live. Like, I was legit just like sitting here like this for a full 30 seconds. It felt like I was like, is it gonna go live? What's it doing? Hi, welcome. Hi, Jacques. Hey, Brandon. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody's week? Oh my god, this was like the longest 2 weeks of my life. I felt like I was behind on everything, and I was like, I just got to make it to Creepy Book Club. Just got to make it to Creepy Book Club. If I can survive, we'll be fine. Hi, Marielle. So, if I yawn a lot during this, I am sorry. I had like literally zero energy today. I got enough sleep, got my normal caffeine. I don't know what the fuck. But yeah. Hi, Michael. You read a lot of manga this week. I technically did read a manga also. I was obsessed with Vampire Kisses when I was younger. And they released just a very few manga series for Vampire Kisses. And there was one that I apparently missed. So I bought it used somewhere online and I read, yeah. Hi, Des. I'm sorry you're feeling down, Brandon. Glad you're feeling better. I got to rest. I know. I technically got enough sleep. Hi, Ben. Okay, I feel like enough of you guys are in here. We can play our game to kind of warm up here. It'll be super simple, just stuff popping up at the bottom as per usual, although I did not think I don't have my phone with me. Okay. Actually, you know what? I can there we go. We'll do that and we'll do that so I can see. There we go. It looks a little awkward to me, but I can see your guys' answers as I do this. Okay. Stumbled upon this gay horror anthology called Boys of the Dead. That sounds familiar. If that's the manga you're talking about, that kind of sounds familiar. Okay, so I do have a quick little game as per usual. Because we got to do our. Did I update the Gore board? No, I did update the Gore board, and guess what? I didn't do. I didn't add it to StreamYard. Hold on, I can do it in like 5 seconds. I gotta prove that I updated it. Hi, Eddie. There we go. Okay, yeah. Took 2 seconds. There we go. We got the Gore board. It's all updated. It should be up to date. So I have our little game here. I'm just gonna do a like name that film moment, but it's gonna be name that book because this is Creepy Book Club. So you do have two. Let's see if we can get a few more for you today, Marielle. So this is just name that book. So I just have 3 statements that kind of describe a popular horror novel. I have included the authors, so you already get like a hint within the question. And all I need is the name of the book. That's it. Super simple this time. Hopefully not too complicated. And these are all, I think only one of them might be a little bit tricky. And I somehow put it as the first one. So we'll get the tricky one out of the way. All right, so here is your first statement. Ray Bradbury's novel about an evil entity working at a traveling carnival and tempting people with their deepest desires. Name that book. I do have my chat popped out too, so I can actually see who answers first. This is the hardest one in here, I think. I think, anyway. Ooh, Brandon, nicely done. Yes, Brandon, I saw Brandon first. You are correct. It is Something Wicked This Way Comes. Nice. Jacques, so close. Something wicked, not something sinister. That was the hardest one, Marielle. I think that was the most tricky one, but good job. And I, for whatever reason, didn't bring my phone in here. So hold on. Let me just old school really fast. Write your name down, Brandon, so I don't forget to Add you. Can I just have a regular pen? Thank you. Okay. Okay, really quick. We got Brandon with 1. So I can add you in or add you to the board. I'm sure you're on there already. Nicely done. Nicely done. I think there was a movie made out of that one, although I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. But good job, guys. All right. The next 2 are super, I think, are easier. I don't want to say super easy, but I think they're easier. So, all right. Next statement. Jay Anson's novel about a family troubled by a demonic entity in their house, in which a series of brutal murders had occurred, was supposedly based on true events. I don't know if novel is fully accurate. I'll explain once somebody guesses it correctly. Jay Anson's book, how about that? About a family. Oh, I saw Jacques first. You are correct. The Amityville Horror. Good job, Jock. I know you're on the board already for sure. Although I'm sure Brandon is also. So I'll just add y'all's for next time. Yeah, as I wrote it, like as I read it out, I realized maybe I should have changed novel to book. It's technically in a nonfiction section where I work, at the bookstore. I've said it a million times. It's Barnes and Noble, but it's in the nonfiction section. So yeah, I don't know if that was like if it initially was put in the nonfiction section when it first came out, or if it like since had moved, or like what the deal was. But yeah, so I guess maybe novel isn't the most accurate description of that. But all right, I think this next one is going to be like type fast. It'll be a race. There's a million Amityville stories now, so who knows? That's true. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't really know. I could look into it at some point. I just thought about that as I was writing the question. But all right, here's the last one. Last one. Shirley Jackson's novel that is widely considered one of the best ghost stories of all time. It has been adapted thrice. 3 times it has been adapted. I think you guys, this is going to be Marielle. Look at you. We're going to bring you up to 3. All right. Good job. The Haunting of Hill House. And you corrected yourself in the nick of time, I noticed. Although I didn't notice it right away. So regardless, the point would have gone to you because that would have been on me. Nice. Yes. I almost, I found this question on a website and I almost did it word for word, and it like the wording was super tricky. It was like had been adapted into 2 movies, which is still accurate, but I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to like try and throw you guys off that way, because technically the 3rd adaptation is not a movie. But I didn't know if I wanted to get that nitpicky. I thought that might have been a little bit too mean. Maybe would have thrown you guys. But it has been adapted 3 times. 3 times. All right. Nice job, you guys. I will add you to the Gore board. So next live stream, that will be updated. But now that we're all a little warmed up, shall we talk about When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen? I know Des has hopefully finished it. I remember you mentioning during another live stream you popped out to read this. So it was one of our shorter ones for sure. This was like only 230 pages, 235. Not related, but The Hangman's Curse is another book. Technically, it is Christian fiction, which I did not realize. I mean, I guess I should have realized, like, the movie is super, like, God's gonna save us, and all the goth kids turn normal by the end. But that is based on another book, actually, by Frank Peretti, I think. So, another book. All right, Des has read it. Okay. Haven't finished it yet. This one, I will admit, it did take me a little bit to read it. Oh my gosh, yes, Mariel, you did make that drawing. I should have, maybe I can show it here if you don't mind. I could probably get it really fast and drop it in. Mariel did make a lovely drawing, which I'm going to try and unable to save. Just kidding. Actually, I can share my screen. Let me just make sure you're okay with it. I'm going to take haha, you're so sweet as yes, go ahead and share it. Hold on. I can share my screen super fast. I'll just share the whole thing. Whoa, trippy. Should be right here. Hopefully that shows up. I can't tell. Oh, okay. It looks like you're seeing it. But look what Marielle drew. Look at that. And she drew some of the books that she's read so far for Creepy Book Club in here. The Gilda stories, My Dearest Darkest, The Hacienda, and Hyde. So cute. It wouldn't let me save it for some reason and pop it in here. So sorry I had to do it that weird way. Okay, just wanted to show that off. All right. I thought that was so cute. But yeah, I did see some like mixed reviews on this, but it was for like such a short book, it felt like it took me a while to get through actually. And I wasn't sure if it was because like, I mean, there's some pretty heavy topics in this, obviously, but I'm interested to know what you guys think, especially Des, who definitely finished it. That I know, but yeah, it was interesting. I was like sifting through reviews on like Goodreads and Storygraph and everywhere to see like what people felt, because it was like one of those books like when I finished it, I wasn't sure how I felt about it at the end, if that makes sense. Like I kind of just finished it and I was like, huh, okay. And I wasn't sure really how I felt. There were some like truly horrific moments in this book, like holy shit. Like oh my god, towards the end I think I marked it because I was just like so like what the like Jesus Christ. I did mark it somewhere where Roman like full on like Leatherface takes a slave's face off and like holds it up and puts it on his own face. Oh God. Eddie found it very much all right. Very much all right. That's how I felt. I feel like that is like a very good, I think that like hearing that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel like that's how I feel about it. It was very much all right. Listening. I heard really good things about the audiobook though. Like a couple of the reviews I saw were like really raving about the audiobook, especially like obviously especially the narrator. I'm not sure who it is that reads the audiobook, but I couldn't find it when I picked it up. I don't know if it was available anywhere for me yet, but I heard it was very good. Yes, please, Des. Yes, please. But I mean, we can take it a little bit. Like so in the beginning we meet Mira. And toward like I feel like in the first half of the book or first like third of the book, we spend a lot of time like bouncing back and forth between Mira's past and present as she's like traveling back to her hometown for this wedding, kind of setting up everything, I guess. Kara Young narrates it. Oh, thank you. I've heard it, like everyone is like raving about the audiobook. So that was like one common thread in all of the reviews I read for sure for anyone who listened to it. So if anyone likes audiobooks, I guess listen to the audio for this. But yeah, so basically the book is setting up this land that is haunted, obviously, and I say land, it's a plantation or a former plantation in the present of the book, that is haunted by all of the atrocities that happen there. And as kids, Mira and Jessie, her friend Jessie, went and found this plantation. They were walking around and they saw something really scary and they went running, and it felt kind of random as I read it in the book, but another completely third other person is killed and found in the river, like near this plantation, and it's pinned on Jesse, of course, because he's a black kid. So that's what happens. So Mira feels like super guilty about that, and that's like the main thing that's like going through her head through this whole book is like how guilty she feels for so many different things. But it took me till the end of the book to realize, like, the title When the Reckoning Comes, I was assuming it was going to be more of like, you know, everybody coming to this wedding, and obviously it's majority white people on this former plantation, really not giving a fuck about the past of the place that they're in, and some sort of like bloodbath, really scary stuff happening to them. But really, like, it was the reckoning that was happening was Mira having to reckon with the stuff that she had like done, and I guess stuff that she, like, I don't say ignored, but like chose not to see. I feel like that was a phrase that was used a little bit too. Like some of the things she chose not to see or chose not to act on. So it's like the reason why she is kind of being haunted in this place in particular is because like the ghosts of the place are trying to make her see. And that's when like everything's okay for her. So I like the title, I feel like kind of throws you, and I don't know if that was done purposefully, but I was not expecting it to go the way it did. Turned a blind eye to, I guess. Yeah. Turned a blind eye to, for sure. But it was, no one says interesting. I honestly, I do believe, I believe that's a thing. There's none near where I live that I know of. So I've never even visited a former plantation. I know there are ones you can visit and do tours, but I don't know that they do reenactments. I mean, I feel like, given that I'm in the United States, like, probably yes, that's probably a thing that happens. I wouldn't put it past us, to be honest, but I mean, they do the reenactments for like everything, like Civil War stuff too. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did that sort of thing. But I've never even visited one. I know there are ones you can like go take tours of and stuff if you wanted to do that, I suppose. I guess I would pay more attention to like the nature of the tour and stuff before I went on one. But yeah, that was probably one of the most like, I don't want to say it was like scary. It was definitely scary, but more just like it made me depressed reading it, like as Mira is like initially like walking through this place as it's been like renovated and everything, and all of the like she's like seeing everybody who works there versus the patrons of the place, and like it was just really like, I don't say it didn't like bring me down in the sense where I didn't want to read the book, but it was just like kind of just like, damn. What hit for me were the themes of reconciliation with past deeds and coming to terms with generational trauma. Obviously that's a big, huge theme in this. Mira does talk a little bit about her mother as well and how that affects how she how she acts not only today, but how she acted when she was a kid also. Which I thought was, again, it was like an interesting, I just want to bring that up again. It was not what I was expecting the book to be about. So I was pleasantly surprised at that one, that it was not that I don't think we shouldn't have books where, the ignorant white people running around on the plantation and, oohing and awing at the reenactments without realizing what they're doing. I think that's where the generational trauma comes in as well, because it's like somebody like me could watch that sort of thing and not feel the impact in the way that Mira or Jesse do when they go to this place. And I think that's a really important thing that the author makes sure you understand as Mira is walking around this plantation and we're kind of getting like a feel for what this place is. Scary. Yeah, not so much scary. There were parts that were pretty horrifying, but yeah, uncomfortable was definitely a feel of life. It doesn't pull any punches in that aspect, where it's not like, it's definitely not trying to sugarcoat anything or trying to like lay it on you easy. It's literally just putting it out there. Was not expecting there to be depictions of what actually happened. It reminded me of Kindred. Ooh, Kindred's a good comparison to this book, I think. Especially with the way the ghosts are coming to Mira and what she's seeing. Like, it feels very much like she's been sucked back in time, just like in Kindred. That's actually a really good comparison to this book. Nicely put. Yeah, it was. But the ghosts kind of, it was like a really interesting use of them, that they were affecting Mira in that way. Like, that was literally like the personification of the generational trauma, I think, is the fact that they were like specifically, like, I don't want to say like targeting, but they were specifically like coming to her and showing her these things. Like, there was a couple of instances where she had like seen something and Jesse was not seeing what she was seeing. So it's like you're going in thinking like the plantation is haunted, and it obviously probably definitely is, but we're following Mira, and this is all stuff that Mira is seeing specifically. Do the ghosts function similar to the ones in the Messengers? I have not seen, if it's the movie I'm thinking of, I have not seen that in a long time. So I don't know if I can definitively say. They're not so much trying to give Mira a message or anything like that, or like trying to warn her about a specific person. They're more, I would say, I think the best description of them would be like a personification of like generational trauma and her own personal guilt over things she had done or not done in her past. I think that's a better description of them, personally. Horrible show. Thank you. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for dropping by. My only thing mostly, I think, with this, why I rated it, or why I wasn't like super in love with it, was I feel like the setup felt like the setup for like a much longer book, almost. Like I felt there genuinely could have been more in it. And I feel like the end was kind of like everything all at one time. It was like, okay, now we gotta wrap everything up together, and it all happened like so quickly. Like, I barely had time to kind of like register what was happening, because there was a lot of moving parts at the end. We had the lynch mob that were trying to find Jesse. because obviously they were just going to like pin Celine's death on him because, you know, it was a white woman dead. So we're going to blame the black man. So we had the lynch mob that was like coming for him. Mira and Jesse are trying to run. Meanwhile, Mira is seeing this ghost, Marceline. There's a whole thing going on with Celine's fiance, whose name I've just forgotten. Philip? Is that his name? Was that his name? Philip. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I momentarily forgot. Agree that it was set up for a longer book. I think there was more to Celine's story than we. Yes. Oh my God. Like, I feel like Celine as a kid was set up really well to a point like I felt like maybe I understood her on a very surface level, but obviously she's like a slightly different person as she's grown up, and I feel like we barely get anything for her. Like we don't like fully understand her motivations, so it's like it's almost like you kind of just have to assume like I guess because she is white and doesn't, you know, have the same experience as somebody who's non-white, she's not thinking about where she's having her wedding. But that was like the only thing I could assume because I didn't know. I really would have liked a longer book and to get maybe a little bit more of like Celine and her motivations going into this, and yeah, and just stretch out some of the stuff that was happening at the end because it was a whirlwind. From the premise, I was thinking of that one story in Tales from the Hood with Corbin Burson. It was, I mean, I feel like this could probably be shortened even more to like a short in a horror anthology like Tales from the Hood for sure. But yeah, I would have. I think they like it just like as Celine is grown up when we meet her, I think it's just pinned on like she's just ignorant white person, and that was the only thing we got. But they like set up her character so well in the beginning that I thought there was going to be a little bit more. So I just really would have liked a longer book. I think that's like really the main reason why I just thought it was okay. Like, why not just peg on like a few more, couple tens of pages, you know? Just throw a couple more in there to set it up. Yeah. There was a lot of time given to like the setup and walking around that plantation and seeing everything and the flashbacks in like the first like half of this. That, yeah, I feel like there just wasn't enough time given to the end where I was kind of like really had to sit and like digest what had happened at the end, I guess. I would love to know more what you like. Give us the dirty details, Des. Like, I want to hear like all the aspects you loved about it. Because there's like nothing like, I mean, I like as I'm talking about it, there's nothing like I genuinely really hated about the book. It was more just the length. That was that was it. I think it was more just I wanted a little bit more because like the story I was here for. Personally, this is up there for me with Last House on Needless Street. Okay. Came for a horror story and got something which was more impactful to me. Yeah, I think like just the story alone, I think 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Because I was really stoked going into this. Like, I mean, just like having read the back, like I was so ready for this. Like genuinely, like the only thing that made me not love it as much was just like the way the book was set up. Like I would have liked a little bit more. I feel like we need to stop talking about Needless Street for like a month or something leading up to December to like dampen the hype for Marielle. But yeah, it's definitely a book that's not just a horror novel, which I guess maybe that's why, at least at work, it's coded for just like regular fiction and not horror. I feel like the book industry does that in the same way. Like if it's like if it's a book that has horror elements, but it's got a really strong message like this one does, it's like we're not going to put it in the horror section because that would somehow like demean the book. So we're going to put it in regular fiction. Completely missing the point that, you know, we're using this horrific tale to convey a message that's really important and impactful. It can be both. Step down off my soapbox for a second. Mostly had a problem with the pace. Yeah, I just feel like if it was a little bit longer, I think that would have solved a lot of problems. And I would have been like 5 out of 5. The story was amazing for me. I was down for the story. The depiction of the exploitation of the modern day plantation and the depictions of slavery were the true horror. Yes. Yes. Like I said, as she's walking around and noticing who's working at this place versus the patrons, not just even seeing the reenactments, but just seeing like, you know, going past the person like selling the tickets when she's like at that bar / restaurant kind of area. Just seeing that also was like felt almost even, I don't even want to say like worse, but it just felt like so incredibly, what's the way I want to put it? Like thinking about how much time has passed, like I'm like in reality, like how much time has passed between when slavery was ended and the present day of this book, which is present day, actual present day. It's like it's like there, you know, if there's like this much time in between it, the progress feels like this much time. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. But that was like the vibe I was getting as she's like walking around and seeing all this, where it's like you just have all of these, there's all of these people of color, all these Black people that are still working at this place. Meanwhile, all of these white patrons are just kind of like, la-di-da, we're getting drunk, we're getting messy. We're not taking into account, we're not like even realizing in our brains like where we are and what happened here. And this is the present day. And I feel like that, as I was reading that, was probably like the most bone-chilling part to me. It was like having a bucket of like cold water poured over my head. Like it was just I feel like that was the true horror part until we started really getting into like the ghostly I don't want to say like hallucinations, but like what they were trying to show Tamira, because they started getting like longer and more intense as the book goes on, to the like specific atrocities that were happening on this specific plantation in the book, which were fucking horrible. Like it literally was just like some of the worst things you could do to somebody else. And it really like, because I powered through like the last little bit. So like when the visions were kind of getting worse, and especially the scenes where that Roman guy from the past is skinning slaves and selling that for leather. And yeah, I just like sat for a full like 30 to 45 minutes after I finished this and just kind of just sat because it was, out of all the horror books I've read, I think that was probably one of the scariest things I've ever read, to be honest. The reviews have been saying this is a book for fans of Get Out. I think if you like Jordan Peele's movies, I think the message very much aligns with like the stuff you would see in like Get Out or Us. I really love when she first gets to the revamped plantation, taking the tour, seeing the workers, customers, and how they acted, specifically the child. That, oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Yep. That's the feeling I'm talking about. Yeah, when that kid goes up to her and just assumes that she works there because of her skin. Because naturally she would work there, right? It's really scary and just in a different way. Yeah, and really impactful. I think the message was so fucking strong in this, like just really fucking strong. I was just a little bit disappointed by I didn't realize until I'd finished it that I wanted it to be a little bit longer. That's all. But the message, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Which kind of seems like what I noticed in reviews as I was reading along too. Most of, if not all of the criticism I saw was like on the pacing and the just like the actual way the book was set up. Not, I don't think, I mean, obviously, if I had seen anybody commenting on anything else in a negative way, I wasn't gonna like run the other direction. But yeah, message 5 out of 5. The length, not so much, but I did put this on. I made a little table at work for books you should read if you like Jordan Peele's movies, and I did put this one on there. If I had to assign this a number rating, I think I gave it, I don't have my phone. Pull up a story graph. Why did I leave it in the other room? Why did I do that? I think I gave it a 4 point something, 2.5. I'm gonna find out for you in just a second. What do the numbers mean anyway? But yeah, it was still rather high because yeah, like I said, the only issue I had was the length and the pacing really. Fuck. I'm used to doing it on my phone. So like, where am I? Where is it? I literally just logged it the other day. Why is it not? I think it was like a 4.25 or something. 4.25. All of that just for a number rating. Yeah, all of that just for a number rating. I'm definitely going to be thinking about this book for the rest of the year. Obviously, probably longer, but it's going to be one of those that's just like stuck in my head for a long time because the message was just really impactful. So definitely, I would say definitely try and finish it, Brandon, for sure. I know the pacing is a little bit off, but just try and focus on the story. I think that's the main thing there. I'd love to know what you rated it, Eddie. I know Des already said 5 out of 5. If you had to assign it a number rating. It's all because of Creepy Book Club. I stopped giving number ratings on videos and stuff. They all mean something to everybody. They all mean something different to everybody. So we're all about the vibes here on Nightmare Maven, not so much the numbers. So if you did rate it, Eddie, I'd love to know what you rated it for sure. But while I hit the delay, what else have y'all been reading this month? I gotta say, this was not a good month for me reading wise. I finished When the Reckoning Comes, obviously. And I read that Vampire Kisses manga, and I have like 4 other books that are not finished yet and like half read, and I'm working on it. Okay. Oh, I gave it a 3, but I'll be honest, I read it a month ago. I don't remember why. See, that's what I'm saying. Like the numbers, yeah, it's just out of curiosity, really. But you explained your feelings on the book, obviously, really well with your words. Definitely intended to finish it. Not really my preferred taste in books. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, so it was not a great reading month for me. So hopefully we'll have a lot more to talk about next stream because I should finish all the books I have half read. Or the Picture of Dorian Gray, After the Fall. Oh, a play. I have a coworker that is very much into theater and stuff, and she reads plays. She's always telling me about different plays she's done and seen, and then all of the ones that she reads. And started Hyde. Yep, that's her book next. Oh, you read the new Junji Ito. I haven't picked that one up yet. I didn't love Censor. So I was like, maybe I'll just keep reading some of his older stuff and then I'll get to the Liminal Zone. I didn't love Censor, which I think was the one that came out right before that. I can't remember. Copy of Hyde. Yep. Hyde is our next read. If you didn't catch it I made a post on YouTube and on Instagram and on Twitter. If you didn't catch it, Hyde by Kirsten White. Sorry, the reflection is really bad. Is our August read, which this one doesn't seem like too long either. Oh, it's really not. Oh my God, wait. Is that real life? Almost like the same exact page, 236 pages. Wow. So really not very long. This one has been like flying off the shelves at work. I know the author is a teen author, and I'm familiar with her books in name. I don't think I've read anything by her, but this is obviously an adult horror novel. It's not a teen book. Oh, enjoyed Tomie, I recommend. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, so I won't, but I will note that. Thank you. Read a couple of LGBT plus graphic novels and Dark Places by Gillian. I never know if it's Gillian or Gillian Flynn. I've only read Sharp Objects by her, and I loved that book. I recommend it all the time. I do have a graphic novel on my TBR for this month also. I grabbed the first, I don't know if it's the first volume, but it's like the thicker graphic novels, or I think they include a lot of different issues in it of The Sandman, because I know that series just dropped. So I'm going to try and at least read the first one before I watch it. I saw a story from Junji Ito, and I guess I'll give body horror manga. The images will be with you forever. Yeah, so the images will be with you forever, but I have almost completely loved everything I've read of his so far, except Censor. Everything else, though, would highly recommend. Finished Hyde 2 days ago. You listened to the audiobook. Nice. He took notes so you wouldn't forget. Yeah, that's the trouble with reading it ahead of time. I did that with Fervor. Like, I finished that one before the month even started because I managed to grab an arc of that one. Yeah, and I had to take notes to make sure because I was like, oh my gosh, you read a lot. Taking of Jake Livingston, which is a creepy book club read. September. I already forgot. I should put up that picture. I should keep that loaded in here for times such as these, because I didn't fucking bring my phone in here. It's another creepy book club read in the future. I think it's either September or November. I just can't remember. The Atlas 6. That's still on my TBR. Lore Olympus Volume 1. I did start reading that on Webtoons. Webtoons, I think, is the app, forever ago, but I did never finish it. So I don't even think I finished what would constitute Volume 1. The third one already comes out this October, though. So it's just They're just flying out now. Love Shepherd. I recommend that one all the time. I love that book. Underline fragments and then reread them. And yeah, that's why. I usually will use like little page flag. Yeah, you can't see them with the lighting. There we go. Little page flags, stuff that I may want to go back and reread. And I darken now. Yeah. I think YA is fine. There's a lot of great books to read in YA for sure. I feel like her name is familiar. I think I may have read something from hers like a very long time ago. If it's, I don't know if I'm thinking of. Oh, it is her. Paranormalcy. Sorry, it's not an easy title to say. Paranormalcy. Yeah, that sounds about right. It came out in 2010, which sounds about when I would have read that when I was in high school. That's the only thing I've read from her, but that is definitely a YA book. But nothing wrong with YA. Love YA. I read bleak books all the time. I should take notes. I don't. But you speak so well when we talk about books. For like, now that I know that you don't write notes, I'm a little bit intimidated. Little bit intimidated. I just feel like I should take better notes for these two and sound more like collected and put together, but is that my style? I don't know. I feel like the Nightmare Maven channel is like 90% flying by the seat of my pants. So I've been doing it for almost 8 years. So why stop now? Why stop now? But yeah, you guys already mentioned it. If in case anybody else popping in here who's just lurking, Hyde, Kirsten White is the August book, and I think Taking of Jake Livingston is. Oh, you know where I can find it? Why is it such a big deal, Vicky, that I find it right now? I don't know. It was September. I'm a genius. So the Taking of Jake Livingston that Des mentioned is the September book. So if you happen to read Hyde really fast, I know Eddie's already finished it. You could just stay even more ahead if you wanted to. That one is a YA book, but I'm very excited to read that one also. Okay, well, I'm really excited to talk about Hyde with you guys. I feel like immediately it's going to be awesome because there's a fucking map in the front. I feel like if there's a map in the front of the book, it's like it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. Is that the most important thing in the book? No. But here, hold on, I can show you really quick. You can even take a screenshot if you want. Give me 2 seconds. I will put it up on the screen. I've been posting this every time I post about Creepy Book Club too, as like a secondary picture. So in case anybody wanted to like save it. So as you can see, Hyde is our August pick, then Taking of Jake Livingston. October, to answer your question, we are reading 2 horror novellas. That's The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Laval and Carmilla by Sheridan. No, I'm forgetting a name. It's Carmilla. It's the Carmilla. I'm forgetting the author's full name. November is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. And then December, we're going to blow Marielle's mind with The Last House on Needless Street. So there you go if you wanted to screenshot that or save that. And I can always just, if you shoot me a DM somewhere, I can just send you that picture too if you wanted. Joseph. I don't think it's Joseph. I think it's just J Sheridan Le Fanu. And I think I just threw myself up. Oh, it does say Joseph there, doesn't it? I've only ever seen it as J Sheridan Le Fanu, now that I'm thinking about it. Is this important? I don't know. Everyone's craning their neck right now. Wow, I didn't realize the J stood for Joseph. Interesting. I'm never going to call him Joseph. But there you go. Those are the upcoming creepy book club reads. I'm really excited about the lineup. I think we're gonna have a great end of the year. But I will go ahead and let you guys go for this creepy book club meeting. As always, thank you for coming and talking books with me. Even if you haven't read the book that we're talking about, I do appreciate you guys being here and having a discussion with me. I really appreciate it. I love this book club. I really do. I think it's so much fun. So I love that you guys are humoring me and reading with me. So thank you very much. I will talk to you guys soon, like on the internets, all over the place. But yeah, have a good night or / day, depending on where you are in the world. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, you guys.